you're wondering who has been doing the baller filler content, I am twitch.tv/thepoketesla. I've been doing this entire event, and I don't know, I was pretty impressed with that trivia, so... The fact that 99 viewers have stayed, 15 minutes, 20 minutes of us doing nothing, then I really do appreciate that. That's devotion right there. Alright, we're gonna start doing some high score tech any moment right now.
Alright, hey, what's up, everybody? Can everybody hear me? Is everything alright on the stream? My name is GlitchCat, and first of all, hey, I'm kind of jumping in a pinch, but that's alright. I was going to do this run anyway. Shoutouts to Tesla and all the other runners this week. It's really been an excellent marathon so far. I hope you guys are enjoying it. So, I can't hear any, so if someone's trying to talk to me via Discord or whatever, I can't hear anything, but I can see the chat. Let me tell you guys a little bit about what I'm going to do. Audio's super quiet. I could try to bump that a little bit. Perfect audio. Alright. Okay. Well, let me know. Very low audio. Alright. Well, let me tell you a little bit about what I'm gonna do. This is, the whole time here, you guys have been seeing speedrunners. And, well, I bumped it up as much as I can. I can't get any more audio. So, the whole time here, I'm just gonna go into this and you can follow along. So, you guys have been seeing speedrunners the whole time, and what I do with the game is a little bit kind of obscure and a little bit weird compared to that. I play the game for high score, and so this is some tech that you're not gonna see in any other kind of a run. Why? Because speedrunning is all about going fast, and high score is actually all about going slowly. So, the rules of this challenge, and I do have the world record for this, is a deathless high score in Mario 3. Score all the points that you possibly can, and get through the whole game without ever dying. And also in these rules, without ever using any kind of a warp. So, not a lot of people run this right now, and it's kind of an obscure run, but Tesla has allowed me to come on here and sort of give a little demonstration of this. So I'm not going to do a whole run of this because it would take a very, very long time. These runs take about 4 or 5 hours because you're doing every level very slowly. But what I'm going to do is I have a bunch of save state situations in my emulator here, and I'm just going to actually show you some of the tech from this and see if you like this kind of a thing. So this is how this run starts. I am actually playing this, but I am using an emulator for the sake of convenience, and so I don't have to do a whole 4 or 5 hour run. So you want to score points, right? And that means you still want to do things in a very optimized way, but now you can do them slowly. So, you want to find the spot in every single level, all throughout the game, where you can score points repeatedly. And this is that spot in the first world. So, I'm gonna do this for a little while. What you really want to do is run down the clock and score all the points you can from this in every situation where it's possible. It's the slow version of a speedrun, but you want to be just as optimized. So, I'm gonna talk about bounce combos for a second here. You guys probably already know this in Mario, but you bounce on enemies in sequence without breaking your combo, and you score sequentially more points. 16,500 is the amount of points that you get for a bounce combo that runs all the way up to 8,000 points. Since I can't die, 1-ups are useless and they don't score any points. So I always want to break my combo after scoring 8,000. And what value the bounce combo is at is very, very important, because as soon as I touch the ground, I break it. And so in this case, I want to get all these turtles, but I don't want to kill them. Killing them would be kicking a turtle into another turtle. I'll actually show you an example of this. So I think you probably get the idea behind this right now, is to consistently recycle these turtles and be able to spam points from them. I'm not going to run the clock down the whole way. The cool thing about Mario 3 point pressing is that the first world has a lot of situations in it that can show off a lot of the basic tech of this run. So this is a pretty quick way to charge up a bounce combo and consistently get as many points as you can from it. In a normal situation, you'd want to run down the entire clock, but for right now, I'm just going to show you what happens if you were to actually kill a turtle and break your respawn in that way. So, I can't even do it. Well, if you kill a turtle, I still can't do it. If you run into a turtle like that, kick a turtle, kill it, and they won't respawn. So, that's the first level. There are a couple other situations in the first world that I'd like to show you, because we all know about the standard bounce combos now, but there are a lot of other ways to trick the game into giving you situations where you can get those bounce combos. And the whole point of a score run is to play the game in a creative way that optimizes that. So now we're going to talk about tail swats as they relate to bounce combos. So, okay, check this out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start charging up my bounce combo. Watch the points. Now I'm going to get 400 points. Now I get 800, 1,000, and there's 2,000, 4,000 points, 8,000 points, and a 1-up, right? You don't want the 1-ups, I just was showing that off. So, here's the thing about swatting stuff with your tail. See how I get 100 points for that tail swat? Now watch what happens when I swat this enemy. Oops, well there you go, I got 800 for that. What it is that your tail swat value, the value of points that you get for killing something with your tail, is always locked one node above your bounce combo. This was discovered by a player named Zio, and it comes in handy in a lot of interesting ways. So now let's set up a combo like this. So now I've got 200 points, 400, 800, 1,000. We're going to add in a respawn with that red Goomba. 4,000. Did you see that tail swat for 8,000? As long as I don't break my combo, and as long as I have my combo charged up, it's always going to be stuck at that value. So provided I don't touch the ground ever, anything I swat with my tail would be 8,000, and in so doing, I just managed to inject another 8,000 points into the same combo, which is an optimization, and which gets you more points. Now, normally, right, in a regular situation, I would run down the timer in every single one of these levels. But for the sake of the marathon, I am just gonna kind of blast through, because this is just a demonstration, and I just want to kind of have a chance to evangelize and kind of show people what high score tech in this game is all about. It's a very slow run, it's not like speedrunning, but it is just as optimized and can be really fun to play in my opinion. So here's something cool. The Hammer Brothers, see I got 2,000 for that because the Hammer Brothers are always stuck at the thousands digit of whatever your combo node is. That's why they always score 1,000 points. So this is the setup for this world, and you're going to see me doing something that is pretty standard for a lot of the rest of this game. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a 3-turtle group, and I'll show you why that is advantageous. I normally want to set that up way faster, but here we go. So I'm going to respawn that red turtle. There he is back on the screen. And we're going to bring him over just like this. And now we've created this unnatural situation, and there are 3 turtles hanging out together. And the reason I do this is because only with 3 turtles is their respawn timer going to cycle. And as I'm sure you've noticed, now I can get full bounce combos out of all of these guys and score tons and tons of points that way. Again, in a regular game situation, I would want to run the timer down as far as I can go. It is a little bit tedious, I'll be the first person to admit, but the tech is interesting for those who like it. So, like, I understand the gripes about high score running, believe me. But yeah, so this is your standard kind of slap shot of high score tech. And there's all sorts of situations throughout this run where you're gonna figure out how to make groups of 3 shells. They don't just normally occur in the level. Very rarely are there 3 turtles hanging out together that you can do this really easily with. So there's a lot of different ways that you can set these groups up, and we're gonna see that in the next level. And that's a really perfect demonstration. Oh, here's one for you. 100, 200, now I got 400, oops, well, I screwed that up. But there's, I don't know if I can get over to him, oh, I'm gonna get hit, never mind. Well, I could've got 8,000 from that Hammer Brother, but let's just pretend I didn't screw that up here. Well, see, that's the thing. The score, we're not sure if the score maxes out. My math tells me that about 9 million is about the upper human limit, but we're not sure. I do have the world record achievement on this game. I scored 7,213,420 points and beat the whole game without dying. That is the current world record right now, and if you want, you can watch that video on my YouTube. That's just GlitchCat on YouTube. The whole video is up, and I explain a lot more stuff in depth. So we got to get through this slow auto scroller. Now take a look, right? Because what I want is to get the most points I possibly can. And I'm gonna try something here that I might mess up, because I haven't done this for a little while. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this turtle, and I'm gonna bring him along with me. Now eventually the turtle is gonna shake and pop out of its shell. When it does, it will damage Mario. Oops, well, I screwed that up. So let's use my fancy emulator trick. This is an exhibition. Don't, you know, you can say, oh, Glitch, he's not actually playing this, he's screwing up, look at this. So I'm using my fancy emulator trick to rewind and pretend like I did not mess that up. In a normal game situation, I would obviously not want to do that. But now you get this fun backwards Mario. So what I really want to do here is drop him off screen. If the turtle comes back to life while it's off screen like that, it won't damage Mario. And that means I can hang on to my raccoon power. So we're going to bring this turtle all the way over here. And now we can do a very tricky setup, which will allow us to have a group of 3 shells. Normally you're not, right? These turtles don't just appear here together. Let's pretend. We can pretend, right, guys? For the sake of the exhibition. You know, this is tricky, and now you also get to see some of the difficulties involving doing this. It is not an easy run by any means. And there we go. We got the 3rd one now. So we're gonna see, we killed him. And again, now granted, I haven't practiced this in a minute, guys. So I appreciate your willingness to bear with me here. Okay, well, and see, we get him. There we go. We got him now. And this, I mean, you can do this as a human, believe me. I'm just using the emulator to make this exhibition easier and not waste as much time, right? If you guys are interested in high score tech, I am going to be making a human theory TAS on my Twitch page if you ever want to come over and talk shop and talk high score. So now we have this unnatural group of 3 turtles, and we can now do this turtle bounce combo. But remember, you have to actually touch the ground between each thing to break the combo, or else you're going to start getting 1-ups, and that's completely useless. So you get the idea here, right? You run down the clock and get all the rest of that stuff. And that is... let's see, I'm looking at my notes here. I want to show you if I had any other tech to show you in the first world. I don't think I do. The rest of the levels also have point presses, but you've already kind of seen that tech. So let's use my magical emulator save state and jump ahead here. Now we're in World 3. World 2 has a whole bunch of point stuff, and it's mostly 3 shell groups and bounce combos. So there's really not a lot of interesting tech. And what I really want to do with this showcase is I want to highlight the interesting and obscure tech that pertains only to this run, and show you some stuff you might not have seen before. So now we're gonna go to 3-2 here, and I'm gonna show you something interesting. So remember when I talked about how touching the ground will break your bounce combo and reset it to 0? Well, newsflash for you, certain platforms don't count as ground. And those platforms are these vertical ones that move up and down, these ones on lines, and the red spinning platforms that you encounter. So watch what happens to my bounce combo when I start doing this. 100 points. There's 200. I haven't touched the ground yet, but look, I touched the ground. Oh, but look at that, I'm still at 400. And there's 800. 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, and the 8,000 point combo. Now, just for swag strats, the tail 1-up for that. But there is something even cooler that you can do, and so I'm just gonna rewind time, just like that, and now we're back here. So, now that's pretty cool, right? Is you can get a high bounce combo like that. But remember that the tail swat value is always stuck 1 node above your bounce combo. Now, I should be counting this out in my head because it takes 11 seconds for this fish to respawn every time. But let's just pretend that I'm gonna just do that automatically because I've been practicing this run for months and months, and I'm not gonna mess it up here. So see how I'm getting more and more points for hitting the fish? Landing on this platform isn't gonna do anything for my bounce combo. And, oh, I got it. I got back up on it. Good, alright. See, if I touch the water or if I land to the left of it on the real ground, it will break my bounce. But in this case, it's not going to. And I can run around on these platforms all day and never break my bounce combo. So now I've got this bounce combo charged up to 1,000, which means that my tail swat value is stuck at 2,000. And for the sake of not messing up and looking like a total doofus, we're gonna take it at that. We're gonna want to charge the bounce combo up to 4,000 so that all these tail swats are gonna be worth 8,000. But in this case, there we go. Oh, and I got hit. So we're gonna back it up a little bit, pretend like that didn't happen. And just to show you here, now we're gonna start to get some really high value tail swats. And the real money maker here is to make every single one of these fish get you 8,000 points. Of course, I completely blew it, but I did it in my world record run. So we're gonna clear this out again. I'm trucking right through this. This is an exhibition, so the timeline is very, very fractured in this run. This is just an exhibition. So let's load up another level here. Now this, okay. So now we're gonna take everything we learned about platforms not breaking your combo, and we're gonna take everything we learned about the tail swat value being stuck one node higher than the bounce combo, and we're gonna do the coolest trick that I have ever come up with in this game. This is my trick, and I figured this out. And I hope, I hope I can not die, and not die. Alright, big fish. So, as we've just seen, the big fish is the stuff of nightmares. Everybody hates him. He's always really tough to deal with. Let's try that again. Always really tough to deal with. Definitely a run breaker in many cases. We hate the big fish. So I figured out a way to take all those years of frustration and turn them into pure joy and happiness through a very difficult procedure here. So we're gonna get this shell. First we want to make sure the shell doesn't respawn. So we want to reset the respawn timer here. We're gonna drop down here all quick like, not gonna get hit, and we're gonna let the shell, we're gonna back that up and so we don't mess it up. And we're gonna back it up. That should be about good right there. And now you can tail swat this fish and injure him. And of course your tail swat in that case is worth points. So now we can bounce off the shell right here, reset the respawn timer so that it respawns when we want it to. And now just dodging the fish. Now notice what I'm getting is increasingly, I messed it up. Increasingly more points for hitting the fish, and I'm screwing it up bad. Good thing this isn't a real run that I have to actually worry about being embarrassed if I really do badly. Good thing this is just an exhibition. High score tech is very, very obscure and kind of little known, so I'm trying to sort of show people what is possible in a run like this, and give you some stuff to look out for. So there we go. Now I'm getting increasingly more points for swatting that fish with my tail, which is exactly part of my plan. Oh man, I totally broke this. I totally broke this. No amount of resetting can save. I'm gonna let myself get eaten. So let's try that one more time because I would really like to show this to you guys. I will be honest with you guys, I haven't done this run in about a year or so. So I'm a little bit rusty, and I hope you will forgive me. Hopefully what this can illustrate for you guys is just how difficult this tech actually can be. So if you think that high score Mario is just easy money and point spamming, you would be wrong. There are so many ways you can mess up, there are so many ways you can die, and there's so many ways that you could do something not as optimized as you might like. And if you're not optimized and you're not scoring points at a fast enough point-to-time ratio, that will also really wreck you. I hope I can get this without totally just freaking cheating my ass off here. You know? I mean, that would be nice, but can't always win them all. He's dead. Jeez, I should have, like, I don't know. What's that word? Practice? Oh yeah, practice. Oh wait, I did. Well, I've either made high score tech very interesting to people, or I have completely doomed my obscure little art. People are now just sitting here going, what is this guy? What is he trying to tell us? This is nothing at all. So, I mean, it's there for those who enjoy it. Okay, that should do it for the turtle. Yeah, I understand you totally hate it. That's perfectly expectable. You know, I'm just thankful for the opportunity to have a chance to talk about this. So yeah, what you would do, whether or not I get it on this run, what you would eventually do is charge up the fish and be able to swat 1-ups and 8,000 points off of him at all times. So, let's just move on. Now here we are in World 4, and there's a couple interesting things you can do with this. This is especially interesting. What you want to do is we're going to do a weird little transplant move, where we're going to bring this turtle over here, and eventually safe drop him right here. We don't actually need the star, it's just worth 1,000 points. So if we can pick it up in passing, that's all well and good. So we want to destroy a couple of these boxes to reduce lag potential, less objects on the screen, less lag. And now we're going to get this turtle right up here, and so I bet you can guess what we're going to do from this point is we're now going to use the turtle as bounce combo fodder, and now we have this setup where we'll be able, with a little bit of luck and skill, to be able to jump on the turtle in combination with the fish that are popping out and be able to get points off of that. You can also throw doubled combos into this if you can smack a fish out of the air with your tail. There's 1,000, 2,000, 400. Alright, we're 4, 8, 1, 2. No dice. And there it is, there is the strat for this. Now, most of the time when you do these bounce combos, what you actually want to do is crouch jump, because Mario's tail flapping animation actually contributes a little bit to the lag. And just like a speedrun, you don't want lag here, but you want it for different reasons. In this case, I want lag. I don't want lag because enemies are going to spawn much quicker. And in a lot of cases, the enemies that you really want to spam the most points off of are enemies like Goombas coming from a pipe, and Bullet Bills firing. Lives don't give points, that is correct. So, let's see, let's jump ahead a little bit here. Okay, these levels, I wanted to show you in World 4, this saves us a lot of time. So these levels have probably the most point potential. And this is what I mean with lag. You want the bullet, so what my main source of points here is going to be Bullet Bills. And I want to get all the points I can off of them, but I want the cannons to fire consistently. And so to do that, I want to actually kill that piranha plant because it is going to reduce lag. Aha! Now, just like in speedrunning, of course, on a deathless run where I can't leave the level or die, I take what I get. So if this were a real run right now, I'd be in big trouble because I just lost my leaf and therefore I can't do the combo tech here. So what you'd end up having to do, run up and grab the Tanuki for the backup strat, and come back here. And now once again we have this type of setup. You could theoretically, in theory, use the piranha plant there as a tail swat combo node. Obviously I'm messing that up, so you see how fresh I am with this run. Oh, this is just fantastic. Look at this. Look at this. To my knowledge, the strat from SMB1 doesn't necessarily work in this. It might. I don't think so. Alright, so let's see. I want to despawn my P-Wing. So there is a pretty cool combo you can do in World 6. I'm just going through this so that I don't have a P-Wing when I leave. If you go into one of these games with a P-Wing and then you come out without a P-Wing, it won't be super powered anymore. This level also has some really excellent combos that I hope I can show you. So, we're gonna start it right here. Because there's so many enemies and things running around in this level, there is a really huge potential to get all kinds of point combos. Also, even if you could do the Mario 1 trick, in some cases it wouldn't... What you want in this run is to get a fast point-to-time ratio. So the more points you can score per time, the better. And so some strats, while they might score lots of points, are actually pretty slow compared to other strats. So it's not only about finding something that will get you infinite points, but finding something that will get you infinite points the fastest. And in this case, I'm doing a doubled combo, and I'm doubling the hit on the Piranha Plant over there. So the 4,000 point node of my combo is going to be dealt to this Koopa, and while I'm floating down, smack that, whoops, I missed it, and then touch the stationary shell for another 8,000. So, that is one way to do this combo, and that is actually the fastest point-to-time ratio in this level. There is another way you can do it, which looks something like this. Ah, missed it. Well, what you could do is you could double the tail smack. There, I got one of them. You could double like 3 or 4 tail smacks in this level and get a whole bunch. Now that combo actually looks way cooler, and I did get that once on my record run, but it actually takes more time than the other combo that I was showing you. So, it is not effective. Yeah, it's not only finding infinite points, it's finding fast infinite points. So here's an interesting one. We've jumped all the way ahead. We're just wrong warping the crap out of this in my magic emulator. So now we've jumped ahead to the upper part of World 5. And so we're gonna go in here and we're gonna do something. Oops, wrong level. Wait, there we are. Wrong level. This is the level. You can tell how fresh I am with this, I'm sure. So we want this Koopa shell. Actually, I probably should have, well, doesn't really matter. I'm doing that to reset the respawn timer on that shell. I should have killed these guys before I came over here, but whatever. That's why. Kills my shell. So, oops, that's for later. Okay, so let me get the real strat here. We don't want to touch that. And we want to kill these little dudes for a little bit of safety, because you don't... That's the only green shell in this level. And so you want to make sure that you don't kill it, because we're gonna need it for later. I do the sound effect now when I rewind just to make it sound funny. That's for humor potential. So now, we're gonna go back, we're gonna get this guy. Grab him up right here. Now hopefully this all goes according to plan. I'm resetting his respawn timer there. Now we can make it all the way over here with any microcosm of luck. And we're gonna get all the way over here, at which point... I kicked him too soon, so that's the problem there. I didn't want to get hit, but... Alright, well now I'm just screwed. It doesn't really matter. So in either case, now we've got this shell here, and this is how to get points in this level. So now, I'm hanging out here, dodging these guys, and letting the shell rack up the combos for me. The shell counter and the bounce combo counter are independent of each other. So, it's not going to affect my tail swat value, although that would be awesome. But it is going to let me hang out here and get all these delicious, delicious points. And every time it gets to 1-ups, I have to actually manually stop the shell. And I'll show you, because 1-ups don't generate any points for me. And on a deathless run, they're completely worthless. So, yeah, now I'm not doing anything productive. Also, I let that shell get a little bit too far off screen, and it despawned. So, that's that. Yes, you only get points on the first clear of a level, because you can't go back into the level, and you can't die. So you get one playthrough of every level, and you have to take whatever you get on that very one playthrough, because it's a deathless run. So, let's check out a couple more things, and then I will shut up about it. Here we are in World 8. And this is one of the coolest levels in the game. for points because you get to do this really swag-looking combo, and you get to hang out with these fish, which I love the fish because they're fast. And here we are. Now, this is fun because you're off-screen, and so you actually can't see where you're lining up. And don't forget about tail swats for double values. And I'm gonna deliberately take damage here in 1 second. Try to get some doubles for you. Show that off. 2,000, 4,000. Oh, nothing. And useless one-ups. So this has an incredibly fast point-to-time ratio. And that's the thing about the Mario 1 infinite trick, is that even if you could do that, it might not be as fast as something else, because this gets me points way faster than jumping off a shell and then manually resetting it. Because remember, you have to reset every time. So you actually can do this. Now, if I was in a real run, I would do this the very safe way. I would go back, grab this mushroom here, so I have an extra hit, and I don't have to worry about dying, because at this point in a real run, I'm about 4.5 hours into the game, and I still can't die ever. And that gets pretty tense. This is, I'm taking this pretty relaxed, but this is pretty tense stuff. I did way better on my record, but, yeah, you don't even need the tail to float this out. You can just manually hop on these guys and get tons of points that way. However, the timer is running down to about 80 seconds, and so at some point, at the very last possible second, I am gonna want to run and actually clear the board. And normally I don't want to, I want to be racking up combos instead of just jumping on the fish, because that's way more profitable for me. And there is the bounce combo there. Yeah, 4 or 5 hour runs aren't for everybody, but I would like to remind you that there are speed runs that are even longer than that. So, what's the record for points? It is my record, 7,213,420. And so this is the last really cool level in the game. Here we are in Dark World 8-1. And this has got some really cool stuff in it, but the absolute optimized spot in here is toward the end. And it is all the way over here. If I want, I can bring these guys with me, but I'd rather them despawn to save lag. So here we are, right here. Now, if I was really good, what I want to do is run in there and grab those coins so that they're not lagging. Oh, I really messed that up. Let's Prince of Persia that, or just back over there. Now, granted, yep. See, if I lose my leaf or anything on a real run, that's terrible because now I have to fix it, right? Right? And you see how easy that is every single time. Haha. See. So, the strat to get the coins out of here is kind of a minor strat because it reduces a little bit of lag, but you don't want, the less lag you have going on, the more consistently bullet cannons are going to fire like this. So now I've got this set up, and what I can do is I can introduce all kinds of double values into my bounce combos, and I also have that stationary shell that's not going to escape anywhere. And hopefully, there, see how I'm getting doubled values? So there's a 800 and another 800. There's a 1,000 and another 1,000. 2,000. Okay, there's 4,000. Let's get 8,000, 8,000, and this is it. And there you have it. And yeah, that's the highest. There are other combos in this level, but this is definitely the coolest and the most optimized in terms of time. So there's 8,000 and another 8,000. Tail smack for the 1-up. So, yeah, that is about all that I had for this presentation. There are a lot of other really interesting... There's a lot of other really interesting tech, and there's a lot of other situations that have really interesting combos that you can set up. But that is kind of a basic overview of the high score tech. Are there points runs on other Mario games? Yeah, all of them. Deathless high score on all Mario games is a thing. I also have the record for Mario World for the same category, but I maxed that out, and I consider that run to basically be dead or broken because of reasons. But yeah, that's about it that I had for my presentation on this. If you guys, for whatever screwed up reason, think high score tech is interesting and you want to learn more about it, you can watch my world record run of this on my YouTube. Just GlitchCat on YouTube. And if you want, pop by one of my streams sometimes. We occasionally do run high score stuff, and I'm going to be making a human theory task of the high score run on this to kind of explore the upper limits of what would be possible as a human. I know it is kind of a long run. I know it's not quite what everybody's kind of looking for as a speed run, but I hope I've managed to show you that it's got a lot of cool tech, and it can be an interesting, viable way to play the game. You know, high score is kind of the green party of game running. You know, it's a little bit weird, it's a little bit obscure. I know, you know, people don't always dig it, but that's you know, that's what I got, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it. My name is GlitchCat, and you can find me on Twitch, GlitchCat. Thanks again to Tesla for having me, letting me kind of give you a little rap about the high score tech, and maybe some people will think it's interesting, and maybe you wanna check out the run for yourself sometime, or maybe get you know, like World 1 high score, World 3 high score. You know, there's lots of ideas, but right now I'm basically the only person that that does high score at all. So I'd like it if there were other people that wanted to play it, and you know, generate some competition, and then see what we can do. But thank you guys for having me, and yeah, I hope you guys have a really excellent marathon. Thank you so much to Tesla, and great job. Shout outs to all the other runners. It's been really fun, and I've been watching this the whole weekend. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you, GlitchCat. That was a great run. Really interesting. Really glad that that was in the marathon. That was a lot of fun. Hope you guys really enjoyed that and found that interesting. You know, it wasn't like a normal speed run. Thought I'd put some diversity in here and hopefully enjoy it. Next up, we have Mario Party by a streamer, very familiar face on streaming. We have Miss Daddykins doing Mario Party. So really fun for that. She's going to be doing a minigame island. And yeah, guys, you do not want to miss this. And then after her, we have the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, Mitch Flower Power. So guys, these are our last 2 or 3 runs, so you don't want to go anywhere to miss these runs. It's going to be excited to stay here for the last you know, a few hours of Mario-Thon. It's going to be fun, and yeah guys, so stay tuned and get excited. We're going to just spend a few minutes just to get Miss Daddykins up and running and getting her hitbox ready. So stay tuned guys, it's going to be crazy.